As artificial intelligence continues to play an increasing role across the federal government, a critical issue facing IT leaders is how best to ensure the security, privacy, and control of the data and infrastructure essential for managing AI workloads. I'm Wyatt with Scoop News Group, and here to share their perspective on that is Dovarius Peoples, Chief Information Officer at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Dovarius, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Let me set the stage a little. What types of AI use cases are getting the most significant investment support at the Army Corps of Engineers? And how do you see those investments bringing greater innovation to your agency's mission?
Yes, sir. So AI, artificial intelligence, has really taken precedence in a lot of the modernization efforts that we've been looking at. Operationally, technically, from an infrastructure perspective, we begin to leverage artificial intelligence from the perspective of our help desk. In user support standpoint, how can we provide technology? How can we meet the customer's needs and respond to their issues? So we're beginning to use AI to look at industry trends, to look at technical trends, to be able to evaluate our performance, to be able to assess our tickets from a trouble ticket standpoint, as well as look at it from a help desk standpoint with tier zero, being able to do first call resolution for a lot of those things. Operationally, we've been working with our business lines, our communities of practice, specifically some of the disaster relief, water management teams, to be able to better predict where there may be aspects of flooding in various areas, to be able to identify how we operate, how we defend and respond. So we're beginning to leverage AI on all aspects from a Corps of Engineers perspective.
And then next, when it comes to controlling security and also costs, how do you view the advantages and disadvantages, if you will, of managing data in private on-prem service stacks versus government authorized commercial service stacks?
So from a management of data, I think there is an operational construct as well as understanding that has to be identified. On-prem, when we manage a lot of our data, we manage a lot of our capabilities, we have more control over those things. From a public cloud, when we're working with what I like to call the big boys, there becomes a challenge to be able to really understand and protect the information in someone else's environment. So we are beginning to work and identify how we can establish the right operational construct to operate and defend efficiently within those public type of cloud environments. I'm still a work in progress, but I think we're beginning to do that. It is costly in certain areas because when you think about data, data means a lot of money because when you look at clouds, storing that information is very critical, and you will pay for those things. So being able to transfer data back and forth to be able to make informed decisions with it are all things we're continuing to watch as we move to cloud. But being able to secure that data in many aspects, whether that's in transit or at rest, or whether it's being accessed by the end user to help make those informed decisions, are definitely things that we're looking at from cost as well as security.
And that's a great point. And I'd like to pick up on that a little bit. You know, one of the lesser discussed aspects of AI is just the huge computing resources required to run AI applications. So I'm curious, when thinking about managing computing resources, how capable, for example, is your agency, or do you think government agencies are in general, of managing its use between CPUs and GPU resources to really optimize AI intensive versus non-AI workloads?
So some of the things we're beginning to look at as we go to cloud, taking full advantage of leveraging what the cloud provides. So it doesn't require an organization to really have to manage a lot of those workloads, because as a part of our strategy, we're looking at how do we leverage those things as software as a service, meaning leverage providing a vendor what our requirements are, and then leveraging the resources that they have. So the major components that we're responsible for leveraging or utilizing really is the data inside of it and providing a solid set of requirements. That's all a part of our cloud modernization journey and strategy. However, one of the things we have identified as we leverage our on-prem capabilities, being able to manage those workloads, the computing power, and those things, it becomes a challenge to really properly scope those because data continues to increase, the workloads continue to increase. So that's one of the benefits we have seen as we leverage cloud capabilities and cloud instantiations to house as well as to manage a lot of our applications and mission critical data.
And then can you give us a picture of, so how is all that shaping your agency's infrastructure investment strategy going forward?
It shaped it a lot. One of the things we're beginning to get away from are a lot of our on-prem assets. We're looking at leveraging cloud, all in on cloud. However, from an infrastructure perspective, it is requiring us to think a little bit outside the box, because as you notice within IT is all about industry trends. So when you think about the next 5 to 7 years out, what will the policy state? Will that require us to move things back on-prem, or will that require us to continue to evolve in cloud? So some of the things we're trying to figure out is what's a good balance. So as we identify infrastructure, trying to divest ourselves of legacy infrastructure, being able to implement as well as deliver solutions. All of those things are a part of our strategy, but definitely currently right now, where it is applicable and appropriate based off of our research, based off of our planning, we are moving a lot of our mission critical workloads to the cloud. Again, where appropriate. And for those that are not going to the cloud, how do we manage that legacy as well as current infrastructure and properly plan to keep that updated? That's a significant challenge from a funding perspective due to how the funding and the budgets are provided to organizations. It makes it a serious challenge going forward. However, we are navigating those waters and trying to, again, move as much to the cloud as possible. And that of what must stay on-prem, we're trying to make sure we have the proper plan and budgets identified to ensure that that equipment does not become end of life or legacy within the organization.
Appreciate that. And then lastly, what would you say are the biggest issues or gaps that you and your organization are really trying to address now to take fuller advantage of AI's potential?
So AI helps you make informed decisions, helps you see yourself a lot more efficiently and effectively through data and through trends. One of the major things we're trying to do now is properly secure AI, because at the end of the day, the guidance that comes out to properly secure it, it'll continue to evolve. And when you think about the known threats centered around artificial intelligence specifically, it continues to grow. And being that it grows at a rapid rate, being able to properly secure it, better understand it. I think that's also critical. Some of the challenges and gaps, ensuring that our workforce understands not just what AI is, but how to properly use it, what the benefits are, but then also being able to properly secure it. So we're looking at all of those things, but the gap specifically is how to properly secure AI in an operational and technical capacity.
Absolutely. Well, Dovarius, Peoples, thank you so much for taking a few minutes just to join us here and share some of your respective insights on the evolution of AI and infrastructure at the Army Corps of Engineers.
Thanks, sir.